Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Team Fortress TV's coverage of ESEA Invite Season 27. Tonight we got a game and a half for you as two of the top 4 teams in North America prepare to duke it out here on CP Snakewater. It's SVIFT NA taking on Velocity eSports. My name is Cornpop. I'm joined tonight by Mela as my co-caster and Azazel on production. Mela, tell me about this SVIFT roster.
Well, I can't follow up that hype, but I will read some names off of a monitor now. SVIFT has High Five on Scout and Jesus, I can't even do that right. High Five on Scout, Yite on Scout right now, but I don't think they've been kind of switching around the roster this last week. So what they will actually use in this match might be up in the air, considering they had a match yesterday night that didn't really go as planned for them against Hooligans for Hire. Hooligans made it incredibly close, so SVIFT has been kind of toying around with the roster, so we might not see exactly the same thing they've had. But they have had High Five on Scout, Bot Mode on Scout, who's just been going off, Yite on Demo, who's normally on Scout, but is now on Demo because the team doesn't really have a Demo main. AIM is on the Pocket Soldier, Laz is on the Roamer, and Zilly is the Medic.
And they're coming up against Velocity eSports, and they're already picking their sides, so we'll go over their roster real quick here. They're going to have Bear on Medic, Jarrett on Demo Man, Showstopper and Kryptonite are their soldiers, and then Pete and Shamu are their scouts. And we're already going live here in Week 3. Both these teams have one loss so far in the season to one of the top 2 teams, each for Attack and Ascent. That puts these guys in 3rd and 4th, and this is actually going to be a really close game, so get excited. It's here on Snakewater, one of my favorite maps to watch. Both Demo Men going to be rolling out on your screen now. Again, it is Yite and Jarrett coming up to this point. Yite a little bit faster than Jarrett here, going a different route. Spam some stickies. We'll see who wants to get aggressive first. First mid-fight of the game. Set the pace.
Yeah, neither Demo's really doing too much so far, but Velocity Soldier's getting aggressive. Right onto Yite. Yeah, that's Show. He's going to get the pick. Wow. Both soldiers now down. Pete comes in and cleans up Zilly. So now Velocity, they're going to try their best to protect the Medic as the SVIFT players. They're bombing in. Baron's taking a single point of damage so far. He's just dancing around, but Laz coming out of Saw. And now, oh man, all of Velocity caught out on the staircase. SVIFT just with the aggression. They didn't get Bear immediately, but they got the rest of the fragging classes and then just surrounded Bear and that lone scout. And they were just totally caught out. There's nothing they could do there versus 3 players. All of them dead. Zilly, because he died so early in that mid, he's going to get the faster respawn, so he'll be getting a slight advantage now.
High Five really went off that mid. I like almost looked away from the fight because I was like, all right, it's just gonna be SVIFT feeding into Velocity players who smartly backed up. But then all the players on Velocity ended up dying, and High Five left with a 4K. So great job by SVIFT to be able to win that mid. Now they're in a position where they're gonna look to push second. Obviously, it's even Uber charges, so it's not gonna be the easiest thing in the world. And Pete is up on Spy, so. Very early Spy play coming into this match. It's going to be pretty unexpected. Of course, we're at a stalemate situation, but it's so early. I don't know if it's going to be the first thing in these guys' minds, and he's in a great position right now.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, all of SVIFT are walking lower. He's definitely scared to uncloak right now, though, because if any of the SVIFT players are in fact using a headset, they can... Wait, Bear drops to the Laz bomb in the meantime. Well, Pete's definitely going to have to go huge now, because Laz just made the best play possible on that soldier bomb, just getting the drop on the med. Now Pete's just kind of standing there, waiting for them to push in. He might be able to get something done here. Let's see. He's uncloaking behind, maybe. Uncloaks right on the med, doesn't stab yet. Gets the demo, but he's not going to get the force. That is, yeah, that's not going to do a whole lot in the long run because Velocity can't contest the point regardless. So Pete's going to go down. Velocity, they're going to be on the back foot here, and Zilly's still with that 100% to push Laz.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I mean, he was right behind the Medic, but just couldn't get the stab off. SVIFT with 100% Uber Charge running this last point. This should be a cap off for them. They don't have any Uber Charge on the enemy team side, but Shamu's coming up on heavy. He's not going to be able to get that point fast enough. In the first round, very quickly.
Yeah, not a great round here from Velocity. Not a great start. Certainly not the one they're looking for. We'll see if they can bring it back on this mid. They had better aggression, that's for sure. The soldiers showing Crypt, they got in. They did a ton of damage. Pete following up, but they just weren't able to clean up the frags at the end, so they're definitely going to have to reconcile those mistakes.
Yite taking a little bit of damage, but dealing it out in return. This mid-fight, very important for Velocity. It looks like Laz is going to go in very quickly and just ends up dying, and they're all over Showstopper. Kryptonite as well being aggressed on by a scout. Gets a nice rock and manages to find that frag, and Velocity have completely cleaned up. There is aim in the back lines. Gotta watch out for him, but he's so hurt, and he's taking on 4 players. That's not going to work out for well for him. Only Yite lives, and he's all the way back on last already.
Yeah, excellent mid by Crypt there. He hit the big fat 100 damage Raucus that you want to hit as a soldier. He was in behind in that saw room. Kind of a classic roamer mid, and it's highly effective if done right, and he played it right. So, well played to Crypt. He wins his team that mid, and now they're going to be at 100% ad, and they have an opportunity to just tie the game up immediately.
Yeah, that would make this 2 very fast rounds back and forth for these teams. They're going to be looking to take it on the right-hand side, it seems, in through the shutter, popping it off on a scout and a demo man. Jarrett and Shamu leading this charge, getting some time on point early, but Yite's there, trying to put some stickies on it. Again, very quick last push. Nobody got him for Swift.
Yeah, and just like that, it's 1-1. Kind of what we expected out of this game. Laz, I don't know if anyone saw where he was hiding, but I've never seen that spot in my life. Someone's going to have to go through the STV. This man might be cheating, but at this point, Velocity, I think they've had the better mids. Swift just kind of got lucky on the first one that Velocity screwed up the cleanup, so I think Swift is going to have to change up the game plan here.
So far in this game, the mids have made all the difference. We'll see how this one ends up going. Swift doing some spam down, but nobody getting aggressive very quickly off this one. I assume it's only a matter of time before a soldier bombs in. We'll see aim, maybe we're gonna get in position. No deaths yet, this has been quite a long time. High 5 to go half damage, and Showstopper perfectly aggresses onto bot mode. Gets in, gets the pick, gets out. So it's a 5v6 right now, and Swift have to take the defensive position. They're all trying to get out of this midpoint, and they're gonna collect aims as Swift are trying to get out.
Yeah, aim taking way too long to get out of there. I mean, he was a bit too far forward based on how quickly the team wanted to evacuate that situation. But now Swift might actually get caught in a bad situation here on 2. Yeah, both of us popped off. Zilly, he's going to need to get out of here. High 5's hanging around way too long. This could actually end horribly for Swift. Yite's trying to fight for the lower, and yeah, they get one pick on the show, but now Yite's still caught in. Velocity getting a lot of room here. How is Yite still alive? He's getting frags from low. Incredible play from him, and Velocity going to be on the back foot. Swift are getting aggressive. Bear might actually go down. So weak on Velocity. And he does, and now it's a showstopper on the respawn. Yite, from a bad position, made the frags happen, and because of that, Swift, they're going to be able to reclaim the second point quick after losing it, and a 40% ad to boot.
Yeah, now Velocity are not in a good spot at all. Showstopper tried to do some spam there, but just going to back off, doesn't want to overcommit to anything risky. And Swift with a large Uber advantage, going to be about 60%, so that's definitely something they can roll with. We'll see how this mid goes. It should be going in favor of Swift, but if Velocity try to pull anything funny, they could maybe get some frags in this play. It doesn't look like that's what they're wanting to do. Just back off. Shamu's staying a little longer than the rest of his team, but not for any reason. He's getting back out. 100% on the side of Zilly now, and Bear only at 30, so quite a large Uber advantage for Swift. They should be able to walk into the second point as well. Velocity not going to have a whole lot to contest with, unless they want to bomb a soldier and try to get a force. But again, that's risky just because they are going to be sitting on last after this, and it's the Swift soldiers that are bombing forward, trying to get some damage down, but very passive play by Velocity. Don't want to do anything dumb.
Swift have just gotten 2 points, essentially uncontested. Zilly's still at 100%. If they push quick, they still have the ad. Velocity are going to get the off classes going. Sniper heavy, always work on last, especially Snake Water with the long sight lines. And at this point, Swift, I think they recognize that they are just going to have a maneuver. Yeah, they're going to send in some sacks. Kind of just going to go down to walk in lower and just minigun bullets raining down on them. So this is an opportunity here for Velocity to push.
Yeah, they're kind of poking it on this right-hand side. Pete going underneath the combo up top here. We'll see if they can get anything. They got to be careful. Obviously, the back cap threat is always there, but so far it doesn't look like anybody in Swift's position to go for that. And it doesn't look like Velocity are going to be too eager to get off of this point. So peeked around, didn't find anything they liked, and they're going to just back off. There was an opportunity for some Swift players to get on some off classes, but that didn't happen. They're still running their standard 6, and Pete's checking that right now on Spy, but he's also committing to the class. Didn't work out great for him last time, so we'll see what he can pull off this one.
Yeah, Swift with no off classes there, just assuming that Velocity would push, but they didn't take that chance, so now we're just in this last little situation. Pete doing the... Well, actually, Laz goes... 2 go down. Wow, so they do send in the sacks again. This time, I'm assuming they might try to get an off class. Velocity need to push, but the problem is, now if they push, they have a spy. So at this point, I would rather just see Pete goes for the play, but he's been spotted out. So he's going to be going down at some point here. I mean, he should really just uncloak spy crab and explode or something. I mean, this is just a waste of time.
You could hear what happened in their mumble. I mean, somebody said, "Hey, do you think there's a spy?" And then High Five just turned around, shot a random shot, and found him. Bot mode's gonna run into a trap now, though, as Jarrett hits him, and at the same time, Pete is managed to make his way back over to middle. He's gotten some health again, and he's once again hidden. But you know, they know he's back there at this point. It's gonna be really tough for him to get a pick.
Yeah, okay. Well, Laz just explodes to the sticky pipe combo, and now bot mode is on the sniper. Kind of a weird time to do that when you know the other team has a spy, and Ubers are going to get forced out on the point. This is honestly a really strange situation overall. Velocity.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the game plan is here. Showstopper's going to go down over Trace in the air shot. Pete gets the sniper. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you go to the sniper? They have a spy, and you know it. I can't answer that question. Maybe we can find someone who can. Swift, they're hanging in lower, but they're dropping players. Cornpop, what's going on?
Shamu's in the back line. He's taking a lot of damage. He got the frag on a Yite before he was taken down by a High Five. And now for Swift, it's only High Five and Zilly left alive. They're back on this middle point. At least Zilly should be living, although I'm not quite sure that's so set in stone. Kryptonite wants his number. Here he comes. There he does get that second rocket. Gonna die to bot mode, but excellent job by the Velocity Soldier. I think that was easily the weirdest fight I've seen all season. Swift still sort of trying to contest on this middle point. Bot mode's in, and Laz as well jumping in and out, but this middle point is going to go in favor of Velocity.
Yeah, at the end of all that, Bear has an 80% ad. High Five is going to go onto the sniper, play the bats. Snakewater second is a pretty good location for the sniper sidelines. Actually, no, he's not going to go into bats. He's just going to sit in the respawn and see if he can get one shot off and then switch back to scout. So Velocity, it looks like they want to start pushing through the saw. Oh, off timing by Lazar, so he's going to go down, and not really anything left on the side of Swift to get this force out now, aside from some miracle pipes, rockets, something along those lines. But that's not going to happen. Swift are just going to get out of there. And now they have an opportunity to push.
Yeah, High Five still in the back line, does get the headshot on the Pete, and Kryptonite gets a headshot too. Actually, he managed to kill all the players on the second point, but the issue is all of the rest of Velocity are over on this last, and they're trying to cap off the point. There's very little help inside of Swift, and it's only Zilly still here. High Five on the sniper class trying to do something if he can come in and save the day with his medic. It's a demo versus medic. High Five's in the no-scopes, and it's only Bear left alive. He's going to get taken down by the 4K on High Five. Peeks out a spawn on second, gets two headshots, kills both players, Captain walks into last, and then saves the day for his team. This has been a very weird round.
Yeah, High Five coming up clutch there. Jarrett was hitting so many pipes, he did so much damage, and then at the very end, he just couldn't connect the pipes anymore, and High Five just made it happen. So Swift are going to hold on to that, and now they have a massive Uber ad. Luckily for them, Zilly managed to stay alive throughout that drawn-out last fight. And they're going to be able to push this midpoint here. Pete is now on the sniper. Just off classes galore at the moment. He's going to be trying to scope out and get the pick on the Zilly.
I think Pete spent more time on off classes this game than he has on scout. He's going to be trying to hold on to this middle point, but a lot of aggression coming up from Swift. We see Laz getting aggressive, does get the frag onto Jarrett, and Kryptonite going down to bot mode at almost the exact same time. That's really big. If Laz can get out, he's not going to be able to, but still, with no demo man, it's going to be really tough for Velocity to hold on, especially since they have a sniper. I mean, can't really put in that DM unless Pete can get some sort of a good frag here. Does land a headshot on the High Five. That's pretty good. No more scout on the side of Swift. We're going to really slow them down.
Yeah, it's going to stall this out. The sniper on mid, unfortunately, the reason, like, Lazgot was able to get that pick because scouts deny soldiers, and when you're down a scout, it's much harder to do that. So Laz kind of just freely jumped across the point and got onto the lone Jarrett without a scout buddy. And now Velocity, they're going to be walking in mid with the sniper. We'll see what they can do. He gets a body shot, so making worth of his off class here. And Laz is getting chased out. Might go down his own saw. No, he's just going to barely get out of there. And throughout all this chaos and kind of taking a long time for Velocity to cap this midpoint, it's going to allow Zilly to get the Uber. So we're going to be in a stalemate. Pete already on the sniper, so we'll see if he can break it up.
Yeah, Botmo just swapped off to Spy, and he has walked out of spawn with this too, so they definitely know Pete's on sniper. I mean, he's currently on a 2-kill streak, so they should know. But he's coming up to try to counter that. The Sky's getting the back line. Again, we've seen a lot of Spy this game, so it might be a little bit expected, but All the spies been from Velocity so far, so it might not be anything. Laz gonna go down to a big headshot from Pete. That's pretty nice. Now Pete can kind of work his way in a little bit more. Velocity could even go with that. I mean, they don't know there's a spy on the field, but with him, unless bot mode does something, it's essentially a 5v or a 6v4, and Velocity popped the Uber charge off. They're in on Laz now. Bot mode is decloaked and just ends up dying in the back line, spotted out by Pete, who gets the melee kill onto him, and Swift have completely backed off. They saw their spy play didn't work. They had player disadvantage back over to Last.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as Last goes down there, that spy becomes irrelevant because Velocity immediately, then it's time to trade Ubers. So once the Ubers are traded, spy not so useful unless he gets to the miracle place, and he didn't. So Pete is going to be peeking in on the top right now. He's been hitting a lot of shots so far this round, so we'll see if he can continue that streak. Ubers are even, so at the moment we're just going to watch those medics build it up, try to stay safe, watch their backs for spies. Pete gets a pick onto bot mode. That's the NG down, so Velocity could warrant kind of peeking here right now, see if they can get another.
Yeah, Pete's been very consistent on this sniper class. He's on a 5-kill streak right now. Hasn't hit anything too flashy, but just been putting out consistent kills, and that's exactly what you want from your sniper. Velocity with that one pick advantage. Have a little bit more room, and now Pete's going for a big pick, or a peek, but not going to get anything. Aim runs in. Actually, Shamu gets another one onto aim. That finally Laz bumped forward and actually ends up blowing himself up on the wall. Velocity getting a lot of time out of this point now, but High Five and bot mode cleaning up some players. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Yikes out here. Bot mode, if he can 1v3 some players here, he's got to take down a lot. Very little HP, not going to happen.
Shamu is just living the world of frag clips at the moment. That was just, it was incredible. The thing about that fight was, Ubers were even, but Velocity built so much faster than Swift that when they actually came into the Uber, it was still 15% for Swift to go, and Shamu two-shot Zilly. And I mean, just an incredible play from him. Great job on the side of Velocity for building the Uber so fast.
Coming to this fourth mid fight now, Velocity looking to keep up their momentum and the half. Kryptonite and Laz in a 1v1 over in the kitchen. Kryptonite's going to end up winning that one with the first frag of the round. Aim in the back line's very low, does get chased down by Shamu. This has been a great mid for Velocity to get another one onto Yite. Aim went down as well, so that leaves only High Five and Zilly left alive all the way back. They're going to have to go back to Laz, so great mid by Velocity.
Yeah, excellent. Again, the Velocity aggression is just paying off. Swift doesn't have an answer. I mean, despite really that first, what I think was in a way kind of a lucky mid, because it just came down to more Velocity screwing up the cleanup than Swift doing anything great. And aside from that mid, it's just Velocity all the way. The soldier aggression is paying dividends for them. So at this point, Ubers are going to be even, though bot mode is on the engineer for that extra defense. High Five going to go on the sniper, see if he can get a pick. But it's kind of weird when you're trying to snipe out a last here, because most picks are going to end up being a rough, because then your engine's going to need to switch and you can only get one, unless he gets a med. Velocity, they send in the sacks. The double sack, very popular these days. Headshot ringing out from High Five, but fairly inconsequential. He explodes.
Oh no, you could tell he was trying to like jump over. Maybe the demo man won't see me. Jared definitely saw him and he was easily able to pop those stickies off. So I like the attempt from High Five. It shouldn't hurt them too bad. He should be able to respawn before Velocity are able to capitalize off that. And Pete's come up on Sniper to try to counter High Five and work his way in. Did pretty good last round on this class, so I expect to see good things from him again. He seems to be on tonight, which is good, but yeah.
The important thing that Pete's been doing too is he's been getting kills consistently throughout the fight. He's getting gotten like 1-2 kills in every fight. And so far when he's been on Sniper, they've actually only lost one fight. And that's a testament to just his consistency at the moment. So he's going to be peeking in lower here to see if he can get anything, but nothing really in that sight line. Most of Swift, they're playing up close on that right-hand side for them. Actually, he does get Laz, who tried to peek lower, just gets blown away. So Velocity with an opportunity here to get maybe a better peek for Pete, or just straight up push, try to trade these Ubers.
Yeah, they're trying to poke at aim. Aim's kind of playing with fire over on this left-hand side, but nobody dead. Showstopper got pretty low. You can sell High Fives trying to get aggressive as well, trying to find some angle for the defenders, but he's not finding anything. He hits a headshot on a Showstopper, actually. That was nice. And Pete is going to get taken down by Laz. So with that, okay, High Five gets a frag on a bear. Perfectly what they need, and now they should allow Swift to come out of this point, especially with Pete going down right at the time he did. There's only 4 players still on this second point, so if Swift move fast, they can get here and take this point fairly easily.
Yeah, excellent from High Five there. Swift, they're going to make the push out right now. They're coming out to the bats, no stickies. Crypt trying to make something happen in lower. They lose the 1v1 to Laz, so this should be easy going for Swift. No one else on Velocity really able to contest Showstopper solo. Pete is on the Spy. I don't think anyone's had any success with Spy so far, actually. We'll see what he can do, as he is once again going to be behind the entire Swift team. Taking a little spam, but maybe, I don't know, it's tough to call.
They won't expect it the third time there's a Spy unless he walks out exactly when Zilly's looking at him. Bear goes down as well to Laz as I was watching the Spy play. That's a really big one. Pete still somehow alive in the back lines, but wasn't able to achieve anything. The rest of his team are coming in now, but they're all so low on HP. They do get the force out of Zilly, and that's good. Pete now does trade for the Demo Man with the butter knife. All right, I'll give it to him. That was one of the more successful Spy plays we've seen, I guess.
Compared to everything else, it was the greatest play of all time. So Velocity here, they're going to be waiting for the respawns. They might be able to fight too, though, because of that pick on Yite. He's going to have to roll out. They don't have to worry about the sticky spam. They can come in fast here, and that's what they're going to do. Maybe Crypt peeking the bridge, but no, AIM, so aggressive. Takes out
Wow.
Bear.
What?
How is that even possible? And by the way, AIM is on a heater right now. He just got like 4 or 5 kills on that mid-fight, cleaned everyone up. I think I had said this in some other cast at some other point, but I think AIM has improved a lot as a player recently, and he's going off right now.
Well, and Bear's been dying so much this game. I mean, it seems uncharacteristic of him. He's usually one of the better medics in Invite, but he's been going down quite a lot. Now with almost 100% Uber charge, Swift are going to be looking to tie the game at 2 as they're getting ready to push into this last point. They got to go up against Shamu on Sniper in terms of off classes, but not going to be too big of a deal. Pete up on Heavy as well. High Five getting a lot of time on point. Nobody's really done any fighting, but
God.
Look at the point.
I don't know how that happens, but they managed to just walk on there. Velocity, they tried to rotate in the spawn. The Heavy wasn't close enough, and disaster strikes. So it's going to be 2-2 in this very close game. Velocity, mids have been their specialty, though. That's been the thing that's been really giving them an advantage so far in this game, despite the 2-2 scoreline. So we'll see if they can keep that up.
10 minutes remaining in this round. If one team does get around before that, we will end the half. And double sword bomb coming in from Swift. Not getting a whole lot. Pete does end up getting taken down by a scout, but otherwise no deaths yet. Laz finally connects one onto Bear, who's just dancing around, couldn't quite connect anything. Botmo wins the 1v1 against Showstopper over in the kitchen, and they're trying to get the frag on Azilli. Kryptonite jumps up onto him, and now it's only Shamu. He's not going to be able to get to that. High Five and Yite are both defending the medic and doing a good job so far, although Shamu's getting a lot of damage down. It'll be tough for him to actually get the frag here.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to just stay alive, which is totally reasonable. Switch are pushing forward aggressively because Respawn Scout is going to get that capped up. High Five's on the chase, and he gets the pick. Well played by High Five. He's going to get out of there as well. So Swift now with the man advantage and massive Uber advantage. They're going to want to push this as fast as possible.
Yes, they are. Pete's still up on Sniper, so playing a lot of that, a lot of Spy so far in this game, but it's going to be tough to hold from this. 100% on Zilly, only 40 from Bear, and Shamu's not up for another 2 seconds as well. That probably won't come into play, but we'll see. Kryptonite is building up his gun. It's a level 1 right now, so Swift are going to want to push sooner rather than later so that this thing doesn't get any more powerful. Popping in this left-hand side, High Five, leading the overcharge. Yite on getting in on this as well. He's going to get a snipe on an AIM. That's pretty good for them. That makes it a 5v5 as we start this off. Showstopper, Botmo both going down. Now in the back lines, Laz trying to do some work, but he just gets taken down. They get the frag on a Jarrett, which means no demo on the side of Velocity. High Five wins a Scout 1v1, and they've been working it in very slowly, but it seems to be going their way. Swift just killed Kryptonite. Now it's only Pete and Bear, but by now Bear has his Uber charge, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin for this push. Yite still in, but going to end up dying to Pete in the end, but did buy some time so that Zilly could get out with the Scout.
Yeah, Velocity players were spread thin across the last there. Bear just not able to heal everyone up, really only just have 1 Scout, so with the players dropping, they're going to have to force that, and Swift now back on a large advantage. Shamu's going to switch to the MG last minute, so he's going to be trying to upgrade that gun as quick as possible, but he might not have a chance to if Swift take full advantage of their Uber advantage. Yeah,
it's pretty much exactly 50%, so Swift have it now. They're going to want to take it in. Are they going lower? Nope, they're going upper right, it seems. So they're going to be popping it off. Kryptonite is here. He's going to be able to spot that. So they're gonna hopefully be prepared for this velocity R, but they're leading in on High Five and Yite once again. Gun going down very early for Swift. That's good. See Kryptonite jumping up as well. No time on point just yet. There's a lot of sticks on it. They're gonna get Kryptonite before he can run into spawn. So that leaves only 5 players left alive on velocity, and finally some point time is going down. But Shamu runs over to block it. High Five all over the combo. Does get taken down. Laz the big bomb now, trying to get down to Jarrett. Bear. Everybody's very low on velocity, but they have their Uber charge once again. And this time, Zilly, I'm not sure he's gonna be as lucky in trying to escape, but they've got to deal with bot mode this time. Retreat back so that he doesn't kill all the players. Doesn't quite win this 1v3. But again, allows time for Zilly to back off. We're in the exact same situation.
That actually got far scarier than it should have been. Bot mode brought Jarrett down to like 20 HP and just meat shot the scout at the end down to 20. That was actually pretty scary for a 3v1 on a, 10-foot by 10-foot point. Regardless, at this point, we're back to the land of stalemates. Both teams are going to have their Ubers around the same period of time. Pete on the sniper, Shamu on the engineer, building up that gun. Swift, I'm assuming, will probably go for that 2-man sack, which is the favored play amongst pretty much the wider scene at this point. So, yeah, Laz in, bot mode in. Gun is going to just knock him away, though, and not much to be done by these Swift players in the last point. Laz gets out, I guess, which... I mean, wow, actually, you would think because Laz got out, Velocity wouldn't really want to push, but they switched off all their off classes, and now they're calling it off? What? There's definitely some confusion in the Velocity calls there, because they got one pick, and then they switched off their NG, like they wanted to push, but then they didn't push. I don't know, just Velocity comms were definitely not on point there. Pete's just going to be back on the sniper. I mean, at this point, Shamu might as well go get the gun up or something, but...
Yeah, it's one sniper on each side now. I suppose bot mode did respawn after feeding in there, trying to get that switch off. Bot mode gonna lose that sniper 1v1, was buffed up though, so he's gonna live for it. But Pete flexing on him a little bit. He's gonna have to go for something a little bit better than that. Just gonna be peeking back and forth now. I'm guessing maybe Shamu just didn't want to play engineer anymore. He doesn't like the class.
Yeah. I mean, not totally necessary. Can be nice to have, though, obviously. Bot mode.
Okay.
Dome's Kryptonite, so at this point, Swift, they're going to be looking to push or get more room for that sniper and give him a wider peek. That's what's going to happen. He goes to drop. He misses the shot. Actually, no, he doesn't. I think he connects onto Jarrett, just doesn't get the frag. Laz getting aggro, super weak. He might go down. Nope. And actually, Shamu's so weak now. And that's aim caught in. He's going to go down. And now, bot mode running in, but he gets headshot by Pete, so... Great little shot at the end there from Pete. That opens it up to the push. Yite's going to be sticking these doorways, but that is not going to hinder the push from Velocity here.
No, they do get a sticky off on Bear, but it's not enough to kill, and the scout has seen that trap already. So both overcharges get an exchange. We see a 1v1 Laz versus Showstopper. Showstopper wins that with the help of Jarrett over in the back line, so scary back cap threat has been avoided, and the rest of Swift have backed off over this middle point. Both overcharges were exchanged, so it's still going to be even from both teams, but Velocity making progress a little bit here, just moving forward. Time's got to be ticking down in this round. Keep in mind, we started, there's only about 10 minutes left on the clock, so I can't imagine it's too much longer here. Velocity got to look to get some momentum if they want to finish off this half.
Yeah, I mean, both teams without off classes, without the potential to get picks in that way. There is always the launch a roamer into the other team, which very well may happen on the side of Swift as soon as they've reached that 100% on their medigun. So right now, just building up. That's high five building over on the side of Swift. And yeah, as you said, not a lot of time left, and you hate to give away a round when there's little time left on the clock. That's for sure.
But 3.5 minutes as Laz is bombing in now, trying to make something happen, but gets completely collapsed on. Bear is pretty passive, able to not die to that bomb there, get forced, and Kryptonite ends up with the frag. So now it's one-man ad. I assume we'll see some sort of a counter sack from Velocity, see what they want to do, poking with a scout, maybe a soldier. Shamu's pretty close here, and he could be running in, and Bear's gonna pop the recharge off him, so they're looking like they just want to go, but aim in the back lines, find the frag on a Showstopper. That's really nice for him, and Bear's been completely separated by Shamu. Shamu's trying to get in on Zilly, but he's not gonna happen. High five takes him down. Meanwhile, Bear's being juggled up in Saw. He is gonna be able to get out as Jarrett's hitting some pipes onto aim. Bot mode very low as well, not looking to push his luck on only 7 HP. He's gonna reconnect back with his team, but that's opened things up for Swift without Shamu still on the field. Makes the 5v5. Pete going for some big play here, right on top of Zilly, and he gets that force. Exactly what he needs to do, and the rest of the team's gotten out, but it means they're not going to get completely rolled back to last.
Yeah, great little flank there from Pete. Just launches himself out of the window and lands on the med, hits the meat shot. So that's going to be the Uber Force, and at this point, Velocity, I think they're going to want to just stall this out. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the Shamu, NG, things of that nature going. They definitely, I don't think they want to push out here with such little time left. I mean, the risk of just someone hiding and backcapping or the push going wrong when you, because, I mean, pushing out a last is never a fun task. So at this point, I think Velocity probably just going to want to stall this out for the last couple minutes, and that opens it up for Swift to kind of just, you know, have some fun with it, just go for weird plays, sack a few players. I mean, see what happens. At this point, I wouldn't even mind if they did the, back in the day, the vintage mix-up sack on Snakewater, where they send 4 people in and just keep the pocket medic on 2. I mean, with such little time left, I wouldn't hate it. Maybe temp Velocity in the push, we'll see.
Yeah, Bombo's gonna run in onto Last, try to get the frag of the sniper or something. Last trying to follow him up, but both of them get taken down, and with 2 players down, that might sort of prompt Velocity. Minute 50 still on the clock, so it's possible if they go fast, they could make it back to the enemy team's Last, but of course they do gotta be completely conscious, and that's gonna help them quite a lot. Pete gets the fully charged body shot onto Zilly. He gets taken down immediately after that, but not going to be fast enough. Shamu does drop to a sticky trap though, so that's going to hurt Velocity's pushing power quite a bit, and I think they're just choosing to back off after that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's time to hold. I think it's time to hold this and move on to the second half. The odds of them running it back at this point are extremely low. I mean, Swift, they don't have any, I don't really know what the plan is on their side either. They have no off classes. I mean, they're going to have to build the Super all the way to 100, which is going to take a whole lot of time off the clock. I mean, they needed to get a sniper or something going. I mean, at this point, it looks like it's a stalemate is inbound.
Yeah, probably what Swift will do is they'll just wait till they get Uber Charge and then maybe just throw 1 or 2 fights in at Velocity, see if they can come out on top there. They don't have the greatest odds of winning those fights, but I mean, they've got basically nothing to lose at this point. 45 seconds still on that clock, so if they lose, then the round ends tied 2-2, and if they win the fight, they manage to take it 3-2 into the second half, which would be very nice for them, considering how close this match has been so far. One round might just make all the difference. They're going to come and pop the recharge off on this left-hand side. Bear popping it off in kind. Still some fighting on this right-hand side as well. Bot mode eats a big sticky from Jarrett, gets taken down, but not before Shamu also dies to Jarrett. So Scout's being taken down by Devilman's the theme with this fight so far. Aim way up in the air. Is going to get shot out of it before he can do too much damage. There are some players on the point. They get Laz actually running around with the skill stick, but not going to be able to accomplish too much more after that. Barrett, or Zillion high 5, the last 2 players alive against Jarrett and Showstopper. This is a big 2v2. Looks like they are going to lose their medic, and it's only high 5 and a 1v3. He's not going to be able to get that.
That was close. That was
yeah.
I was nervous there for a second. I mean, high 5 he could have potentially done it there at the end. But alas, he does not, and it is 2-2 now, heading into the next half. Swift finally took a mid at the end there. The rest of them, I think, pretty convincingly in the hands of Velocity.
Yeah.
Heading into this next half, if Velocity keeps it up with the mids, I think that might be the key to them winning the game, because the mids were really the thing, in my opinion. They were holding Velocity in there and keeping it so close. So if Swift start taking those, I think that might spell the end for Velocity's hopes in this game. But I mean, at this point, obviously very close. Pete making a lot of plays on the off classes. Aim playing super well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was like top damage or something in the server right now. Jarrett having some good moments as well over on Velocity, just outputting huge damage in some of the fights. So just close all around. You know, everyone's kind of made a couple plays here and there. It's tight game, very close.
Yeah, it looks like top damage and top frag both going to our prime off-classer of the server, Pete. 23 frags, 265 DPM, so not super high on that damage stat, but it was a long game, very back and forth, so makes sense in that regard. Close to him, 22 from high 5, very close on frags, and then 21 from Shamu. So the scouts going pretty huge so far in this game. Less so bot mode, not really on compared to the other 3 scouts in the server. 9 frags and 161 DPM. Partner that up with 20 deaths. Not the kind of stat line you want to see from your scout.
Yeah, normally bot mode would... Bot mode is kind of one of the players to look for as far as frags and damage, but he is on the flank scout role, and there were certainly a lot of moments of stalemate in this game as well. So, you know, to kind of inflate those stats is the nature of the stalemate moments for flank players. So the inflated deaths are, you know, it happens. He could certainly be playing better, but the nature of the game so far has not done him any favors. And on the other hand, I mean, like Pete also playing flank scout. I mean, that is some serious outperforming, but a lot of that comes down to the off classes where I don't think bot mode's really been off classing as much. Pete doing so much on the sniper and neither of them really doing anything on spy. And then aside from that, I mean, yeah, Pete just playing well. He's making it happen in the stalemate. So he's breaking up a lot of the monotony here for the teams. And then aside from that on the stats, I mean, nothing too wild. High five with a pretty sick KD, 22 and 6. Top damaging right now for his team. Shamu playing well, 21-13. More damage than high five, but less than Pete.
I will say, trying to counter maybe the low stats on bot mode, you do kind of have a mirror player on velocity. Showstopper hitting the same amount of frags, 90, and even a little bit less DPM at only 157. I mean, he's playing pocket for them so it's a bit different role, but and he's died a whole lot less too, only 12 deaths. But what do you think with that little stat reflection by the pocket soldier and the scout?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times with that pocket situation, it kind of felt like to me, Showstopper was doing a lot on the mids, but aside from that, he just wasn't having as much influence throughout the game in the transitional fights, etc. I mean, it felt like a lot of the times it would just be he's in some Uber trade and then they'd either win or lose, and he's kind of, you know, getting out and not really doing damage, or the other team would be getting out and he wouldn't be doing a lot of damage. He just kind of lived through the Uber trades, and like he doesn't have a super high death count. He just, but he's been influential on the mids. Just yeah, not so much in the Uber fights, not so much in the transitions. I think most of that has actually come down to Shamu. He's had some excellent Ubers so far, and not too much of a reason to really get Showstopper that much of the shine in the Uber. Actually, I mean, in this meta, that's a thing of the past, giving pocket soldiers Ubers. So Show just kind of coming in, and yeah, not a lot of influence there. Influence on mids though, but yeah, him stepping it up would certainly be helpful to the team. That's without question. I mean, aside from him, I think everyone's doing pretty well, and I think the roamers on both sides playing well. Laz made a lot of plays towards the end of that half, getting onto Bear. That's one of the things too. Let me check these medic death stats. Yeah, Bear has 10 deaths versus the 7 of Zilly, and it felt like all of Bear's deaths came in like that last round or so.
Yeah, but we have the players starting up now, so we're going live into the second half. It is once again SVIFT NA taking on Velocity eSports. It's week 3 of the ESEA Invite Season 27. This is a very important match for both players, of course, for both teams. This could be one of the deciding matches for who gets what seeds going into playoffs, and even who might make playoffs if some of the 4th or 5th and 6th seeded teams end up pulling it out big this season. But Laz, the big bomb, going in behind the enemy team. Aim going for the high up bomb for his team, it seems. We'll see if either of them can pull out anything the rest of this mid. Laz hitting some rockets down onto Bear. Other than that, nobody's gotten aggressive just yet. Kryptonite bombs in, takes the frag on a high five, the first one of this mid so far. Showstopper up top, and bot mode's all over Bear. Bear is going to have the defense of his team, and they get all 3 frags in that, only losing Jarrett in the mid-fight. And nice sticky trap from Nate, able to take down Kryptonite before he can do any more damage.
Yeah, that might slow down velocity a little bit, but not enough to maybe stop this push. Actually, as I say that, it looks like they're going to call it off and just opt for the stalemate here. On Kryptonite's respawn, maybe we'll see Pete run back, go sniper. Bot mode already on the defensive sniper right now. Velocity either going to be doing that or... Yeah, looks like that's what's going to happen. So he's running into the spawn. He's going to go sniper. Oh, yeah, please, sniper. Okay, thank God. We don't need to see any more spy plays tonight. Velocity, they're just going to be holding it down on the saw. And at this point, it's going to come down to who gets the picks.
Milo, they wouldn't have expected it the 4th time. Come on. It's all good, though. Bot mode going to be trying to snipe up against Pete as we sit here mid to second. It's going to be more so on velocity. Again, we're tied 2-2, so it's still anybody's game as they're trying to exchange some spam. Pete peeking in this lower area. Do you favor any sniper defending or attacking on this point?
Favor is in like one of them has an advantage positionally,
yeah,
or
yeah.
I mean, it could be nice to play in the bats with the defensive sniper, but defensive sniper can go wrong. And Pete trying to get the shot on there to high five. Shamu, wait, what? Some things you can't explain, Cornpop. Velocity are holding the mid, but the sniper still aimed down. Bot mode, switching off. Swift just gonna hold their ground. Some things in this game, Cornpop, I don't know how to break it down. There is no analysis. But he just gonna be just trying to get another pick now, I guess. Gonna go peek lower and see what he can do. I am glad that bot mode switched off, though. I mean, there's not much of a reason to run the defensive sniper, because if you get one pick, then you're pushing with the sniper into mid, which is not great. And unless you get the med, and then if you go down to a sniper duel, and if you win the sniper duel, it doesn't matter that much, because regardless, you're pushing with the sniper, so... You know, holding with the sniper, I'm not always a huge fan of that. So at this point, it's kind of just gonna wait for Pete to do something, and Swift just wait to maybe catch a player out. But he might, you know, maybe we'll be here for a while.
Well, it's an important game for both teams, and it's very close. I mean, you can tell why they'd want to take this serious. Take it a little slow if they have to, if that's what it comes down to, just waiting for Pete to hit a shot. He's been playing pretty good so far in this game on Sniper. Less so on other off classes, but he's on Sniper right now, and he's been very consistent. Nothing flashy, nothing too flashy at least that I've seen, but hitting the shots that he needs to every now and again. Kind of poking forward now, sees high fives in his sights, gonna hit the body shot, but not enough to kill. And with him and Shamu taking quite a bit of damage, they have to back off. Good spam by AIM and Laz to be able to force them out.
Yeah, Pete, he's gonna need to adjust his positioning, which he is going to do. He was hanging on that lower area for way too long, and everyone on Swift knew what was up, so they were in no position to get shot there. But he's going to peek Saw now. Aim kind of close. Maybe potential pick here. Pete is going to watch the angle. No players still in front of him.
Still just sitting on this point, Mela. I don't know if Pete can maybe go for something really crazy here. He sees AIM, but if he misses that shot, and he's going to miss a second shot as he tries to jump back and forth. So, how was your day?
Well, wonderful.
That's good.
Pete, he's going to peek lower. Stalemate serving as an alternative supplement to melatonin at this point. He's going to be seeing what he can do here. No one peeking Laz. Let's watch Laz maybe, you know, he's at this box, he's crouched, he's not pressing any keys on his keyboard, maybe a little A, just a little A, little D.
Little D, yeah.
Pete finally doing something. Laz
there he goes.
Perfect position, he gets the pick. Swift, for the love of God, push. Okay, well now they're definitely pushing because Abe gets the gun to Kryptonite and it is time to go.
It was that AD play that pulled it out in the end for Laz. Great job by him, standing by those boxes, and more importantly, his positioning to get that sniper frag. Now, we see Swift pushing in onto the middle point, popping it off, onto high five, just making bear flash as many players as possible. AIM tried to get in behind and do something sneaky, but wasn't able to accomplish a whole lot. Velocity tracked him down still with that overcharge and took him out fairly cleanly. So that actually gives player advantage back over to Velocity, and if they want to try to bring the aggression, this could backfire for Swift as they're already fighting on the second point. Laz throwing up in the air, Showstopper getting pretty aggressive. Eats a little bit too much damage though. High five gets the frag on him. Bot mode goes down in return, making it a 5-on-5 over here on second. Shamu's still getting aggressive on this point as well. Swift don't want to give it up just yet, but they know it's in the cards. Positioning in case that happens. Shamu aggressive on a Yike, gets the Demo Land frag. Laz also in a 1v1 against Kryptonite, just getting out here, but he's meeting Pete in there, and he's going to win that fight. Pete takes down Laz, and that leaves only 3 players left alive. A big shot comes out of AIM, taking down Kryptonite. He's bombed forward, and Pete taken out by high five in the back line as well. Now, this point does get capped off, but they're going to immediately get pushed out of it. They lost those 2 players in the post fight. Get the frag on a high five. It's been a lot of frags back and forth here. Velocity don't want to stop their aggression. They were gonna hold. They were gonna back off from that point, but with getting another frag on a bot mode, they could actually push in a last here if they really want to go aggro.
Yeah, both teams overextending flank players there. At first, it paid off for Swift as the Velocity flank, Pete and Crypt, just too aggressive on that bat, so they get taken out. And then on the flip side, High Five getting too aggressive, and bot mode gets caught out and lower. So Velocity now, they could have probably pushed off that, but they don't. Pete runs in, he's gonna die, and you know. I'm not necessarily a gambling man, but
Spy.
I have a feeling might be going sniper here. Oh my God, Showstopper destroys bot mode just right out on the bats. And at this point, yeah, Pete is coming back on the sniper. High five on sniper as well. Velocity can't really push off that pick due to the sniper. I mean, they could try it, but it looks like they will not. Just gonna wait for Pete to get a pick.
You know, the last half, we had very fast rounds right at the beginning. We went boom, boom, 1-1, and then 2-1 right after that. This round, we're about 8 minutes in now, and we haven't seen any rounds exchange hands. It's been pretty back and forth, a little bit of stalematy, but now we're here sitting on last. Bot mode's up on engineer, so they're in it for the long haul. Swift are, unless High Five can get a crazy pick, but it's going to be a little bit tough for him. I'm sure Bear and Jarrett, the key players on the offense here, are going to be playing it more or less safe while they let Pete try to take the aggressive plays. He's going to run into a sticky trap and die before he can even scope in, so good job on Yite with that right click.
Yeah, down goes Pete, and what we'll likely see here is High Five trying to peek an aggressive angle in lobby, and he's trying to do it. The Jarrett sticky's keeping him out. He doesn't want to have a repeat of the last time where he just jumped onto a bed of sticky, trough of stickies that exploded under his feet. He's just going to run out, and Pete is on... Well...
It's a weird game.
If the spy wasn't enough, the sniper. Well, here we go, folks. This is TF2 in 2018. Pete is on the pyro, running there with the power jack, and I don't know what the I cannot tell you. Cornpop, I'm trying my best to analyze this game. I cannot.
What was that?
We call this. Can we go home? Can we turn off the stream?
Mela, I don't even know what this game is right now. Pete has played almost every class at this point. High Five goes down to some stickies with Jarrett. That leaves only, well, and there goes Laz as well, making it a 4v4. If Velocity keep getting picks like that, they could run it in. Pete's on Scout this time, which is a bit more normal of a choice. But with him down, they don't look like they're going to be able to push off that those 2 picks they got onto Swift. So now they're at full strength. Standard classes on both the teams, and or at least on the attacking teams, Velocity, and no more pyro. Really, what does he do besides just run in and die?
Cornpop, you know, we could get the finest analysts from years of TF2's existence to try to break that play down, and no one can make sense of it. High Five gets a headshot on Jarrett. A demo
good.
pick is good. If you want to push, High Five is kind of doing acrobatics in lobby. I don't know what the plan is here, Cornpop, at all for either team. I mean, at this point, I think we're going to golden cap. How much time is there left in the half? 20 minutes?
Still 20 minutes, yeah. But, you know, before this half started, Pete typed in a chat, you guys ready for 18 more minutes of Sniper and Spy? And he wasn't kidding. Throwing in some more classes just for the mix, I guess. Pete gonna be running in and hit some shots on Azazel, actually, but thankfully got taken down before he could actually get the medic force. So finally the Sniper's able to no-scope him. We'll see. Take your bets, folks. I think he's just too random on the class selection at this point, so who knows what will come up on.
I mean, 2 picks for Swift. They could have gone, but High Five doesn't switch off the Scout. He just stays on the Sniper, and once again, just Jarrett's stats. He loves what's happening there. He doesn't even have to hide the stickies anymore, Cornpop. He just puts them on the ground, and he gets kills, and his stats are inflated, and he loves it. High Five still on the Sniper. Let's see if Jarrett gets more points for free.
Yeah, if High Five jumps onto that same bed, it's in the same position. It's gonna be Pete who's sacking him this time. He eats a pipe, and Yite takes him down. Once again, Kryptonite's going for something, but he's just being juggled up in the air, and Yite gets credit for that one. So, once again, 2 players sack in on Velocity, and once again, they get absolutely nothing for it. And Swift, they might try some sort of a counter sack or something, but there's so much spam coming from Velocity, and that's bad.
No.
He pops Ubercharge off, but right after Aim gets taken down by the stickies of Jarrett, so they're not getting anything with that Ubercharge, Mela, and now it's up for Velocity, and they're 100% Uber to run in this last.
Man, they should have waited 4.5 more minutes, stalemated out, and reset the round, but now they're at a massive disadvantage, and it looks like Velocity are going to push. Cornpop, there's going to be a push. They're gathering up lower. They're buffing the team. Bear and Shamu are going to lead it in. Let's see if Shamu can make magic happen again. Bomb coming in from Jarrett. They're going to need some point time. Heavy actually gets taken out in spawn. That's a massive pick. Sticky's dead. Shamu's getting time. The Swift soldiers are coming in. They're going to try to get the picks. Shamu's still alive. And one thing, he just caps it. 3-2 Velocity. So after a well, we're not going to talk about what happened previous in that round, but nice cap from Velocity. It took a while, but they got it. So 3-2, 18 minutes remaining in the half. Still, this feels like it's anyone's game, but Velocity now taking the lead.
Absolutely. Swift needs to come back from that They're already eating a little bit of spam, but that's okay. This mid, if it goes their way, they can roll it hopefully a little bit faster back into Velocity's last point, tie up the game once again. They've been playing from behind a lot of times in this game, and already we see both going down. Laz in the back line's also taken down by Shamu, who is there to catch that flank play. That leaves only 4 left alive on Swift. They're kind of confused. They don't really want to commit to anything, and they're going to lose aim because of it. Zilly all alone retreating through this lower area. High Five, however, does win the 1v1 against Shamu in Saw. Able to live to tell a tale about that too, gets back to his medic and scout partners. So again, it was a win for Velocity, but not completely disastrous for Swift. They keep the medic alive.
Yeah, had Shamu not gone down there, Velocity actually could have pushed. That was kind of weird. I mean, he went up a little too far to fight High Five, but it's as if maybe he didn't communicate it to his team because he wasn't getting healed by Bear, and had he been, I mean, that would have been an easy 1v1. So kind of just miscommunication, I would probably place that on, and because of that, they're not going to get an opportunity to push 2. Crypt is on the Spy. He hasn't played Spy yet, so, you know, maybe he's been pubbing, maybe he's ready to go. He's crouched in an open field at the moment, but maybe he can make it happen. You know, I feel for Crypt in this game, Cornpop, because I've watched him just sack in time and time again. His stats are terrible by now. I understand the plight of sacking Roamer.
And he hasn't gotten to play any of the fun classes yet either, so, you know, now he gets his chance to shine. He's up on Spy. Swift kind of moved into Saw, and they end up losing High Five because of it. Showstopper got the frag onto that. Kryptonite has decloaked, and he gets the exact stab he wanted onto the medic, and that's the first successful Spy play we've seen today. I think it was the 6th Spy play, maybe 5th, as bot mode runs in as well, taken down by Pete playing scout this time. Laz as well in a bad position. Shamu gets the frag out of him. That leaves only 3 alive for Swift, and they're all out of there. They're back to last already. High Five's building a gun.
Yeah, Laz did not have the timing right on that bomb, so he kind of just feeds into nothingness, and at this point, Velocity, they're going to be looking to push. The spawns are going to be coming up quick, though, so it's not that much of a bad thing that Laz goes down. And yeah, it's actually kind of going to be a moment of a break here. It's Velocity. They're going to get those buffs on their players. They've been liking going lower. We'll see if they do that again. Shamu just leading it in, but no, they're actually going to opt for top right this time, and at this point, the gun is already up from High Five. That's a level 3, so they're going to have to take that down quick. That's going to be on Jarrett, and here come the stickies. Gun is going to go down. High Five running into spawn. Shamu right on the point again. He's doing a great job of getting this cap on Jarrett, sticking it off. The Swift players trying to rush in. They're getting so much damage onto the players on point. Show is so low. This is going terribly wrong for Velocity now. Just not able to capitalize off the damage in the point time. And High Five on the chase. Bear. Oh my god, Bear. Oh my god, he's getting so many saws. He could actually just run out. He needs to just keep running. This is how. Okay. He gets piped with Barry on there for VI. That was close. That was a scary situation. That actually ends up being even extra bad for Velocity at this point now, because he's gonna have such a late respawn. Shamu gets a pick. Shamu's just just doing things. He gets a pick and goes down. Bear is going to come up now, but massive ad for Zilly.
Yeah, 100% on him. Bear's at 10, so Kryptonite with a fairly well-timed drop out a window, and he gets that force just by his presence of being there. He hits one rocket, and Zilly pops it off, so that goes the Uber advantage, and juggled up in the air. Aim is Jared did a nice pipe on him, but I don't think he's going to be too rewarded there. Taken down by High Five as he got aggressive in Saw. So the aggression hasn't stopped from Swift, but it's going to have to stop at some point. 2 down still on the side of Velocity, but they have this Uber advantage, slight as it is. Still fighting the second point, and Pete up on Sniper, not going to pay off for him this time. High Five was getting aggressive, and this aggression from Swift has gone so well for them. I mean, they pushed Velocity all the way back to last. That's very far so far, and it's only 75% from Bear, so Velocity can't even do anything to stop this aggression. Swift, they've got a really good opportunity, especially with Aim getting that frag on a Kryptonite, and he's going to live from that. Pretty crazy there. Bot mode's still going forward on him. Look at these bombs from Laz. They're getting all over everybody. Before he gets the overcharge. Swift are in such a good position right now. They just need to get on this point. They've got 2 scouts, or a scout and a demo still left alive on this last point. They need to get some time on point before the Velocity respawns come in, though. And this could be go. Oh no. He needs to get the overcharge. Is it 98, 99%? Silly. No.
Oh my god, that was so close. That respawn coming in from Velocity made all the difference. At the beginning of that fight, though, I mean, the Swift soldiers played it so well. The amount of space they opened up on last was incredible. I mean, just the soldiers alone somehow managed to take positional control of everything but the back left. Just totally running over the map, and then I don't even know what to say. At the last minute, Velocity just clutching it out, so it couldn't get the frags. And actually, oh my god, Laz and Aim is doing work right now. Aim's in the skybox, landing on Bear. It's like 400 in the sticky.
Wow.
what a bomb from Swift. That was incredible. The soldiers and the demo coming in there. And yeah, Crypt and Show are going to have to do a hell of a lot here to somehow defend this. Respawn's coming up in a second. They do some decent damage, get one pick. Scouts running in. But no, just far too many players alive inside of Swift. And they're going to take that round back. And now we're tied up 3-3.
Such a close game, back and forth. I mean, that last time Swift pushed into last, the time before when it didn't work, both medics died at 99% uber charge. So, I mean, that just shows you how close this match has been so far. We're coming out to the 8th or 7th mid right now, as Pete's spamming his Christmas ornament across the point. Nobody getting aggressive just yet. Nobody wanted to die early enough. Showstopper now bombing forward. Laz getting the back line once again. Beats a lot behind the pack. Yite and Laz both going down very early. Showstopper got the one on him, and bot mode as well dying. That's going to be another decisive mid for Velocity. I mean, you kind of talked about this earlier, but their mids have been very, very strong. Absolutely, and kind of what I alluded to earlier, Showstopper not necessarily having the greatest stats this game, but his mids have been immaculate. I mean, once again on that mid, that upper right bomb, he did 80 damage from Soldier and Scout, and then with 150 health, flew back into their saw, killed Laz, who was behind. I mean, essentially, he just put 2 players out of the fight, then took out the flanking player. I mean, Show just showing exactly what you need to do as a pocket on these mids on Snakewater. Just well played once again to him, and Velocity, they are in position to go for these sack plays, and yeah, they will be going down as is expected. This Jarrett lobby sticky trap is something for the ages. It's bold.
Yeah, it's definitely bold. Swift looks like they want to push, but yeah, the Uber's actually coming out with spawns. Oh my god, Jarrett goes down. Bear not able to flash it onto him. Shamu's going to have to go huge here post-Uber. Show's getting aggressive, and this is actually potentially terrible for Velocity. Only Laz in right now. Bear's so weak, he's going to surf out. And actually, with Laz going down, this might be a fight for the side of Velocity. Shamu and Pete making it happen, getting the pickoffs on the Scouts, and now, yeah, that's Soldiers down for Swift. Shamu trying to come back in. Swift with no spam ability, with the lack of soldiers on their side. And everyone on Velocity just coming forward as a team. They're going to take the position and get the cap off.
Yeah, I mean, that fight did kind of go in favor of Swift in the sense that they capped the point off, but by the end of it, they didn't have the players they needed to, and not the positioning or health either, so Velocity easily able to come back in on that second point to recapture it. It's slight Uber ad for Swift, but I think that's kind of just built, and they're definitely not going to push out a last with it, so they're ready to sit back on last for a little while. High Five is up on Sniper. He was on that heavy class, but switches off of it, changes to the long shot man, and Pete's going to come up once again. He hasn't been super great this round. In the past, obviously, in this game, he's been pretty consistent, but kind of cooled off a little bit. And so it's a headshot there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and the body shot. Down he goes, so... Oh no, this is a classic matchup here. High Five versus the 8 visible stickies. What will happen in this round? This is round 3 of High Five versus Sticky Bombs. Oh, here they come. Oh no. Oh dear God.
Jared, that's a little early, but now if the bot mode runs into the Demo Man strat, and that works fairly well actually. Gets the frag on him, ends up having to trade for it. But a scout for a Demo Man, I mean, that's not bad at all. I'm not sure Swift are going to want to push off that because it's still a 1-for-1 trade, but maybe they're willing to risk Laz's life at the very least as he's kind of working his way forward, and Pete's on Spy. Oh my god.
Velocity, they're going to have to hold this here. Uber comes out. Pete probably going to try to go for the back cap. These Ubers being popped off on point. It's really only High Five in right now. Laz trying to maybe get in from lower, just looking for that opportunity, and Pete is on the last point. The Swift players need to get back fast, but he's going to cap it.
There he goes.
Velocity. Now, you know, they're what, maybe 2 and 4 for the spy plays, but the spy plays they made have actually really paid off. The med pick and now back cap. So Velocity match point here. One more round, and they'll take this very important game. This game means a lot for the playoff seedings and who's going to get into playoffs.
See, they never expect the spy play the 6th time. Mela, that's the word of knowledge here today. We'll see what happens in this. Of course, a very important mid-fight, as you alluded to. Showstopper getting aggressive, but not going to commit to anything just yet. Kryptonite's in kitchen as well, but it's going to be AIM, the first person to get aggressive, and Showstopper does die in that kitchen, taken out by bot mode. AIM as well, not successful in his bomb, making it a 5-on-5. Shamu kind of getting low, but healed up by Bear. Bot mode does get taken down. Now Laz and Kryptonite, the 2 soldiers on each side, getting aggressive, but it's Pete going forward now. Looks like Swift are going to have to back off. High Five shot of the air by Shamu, so unless Laz can do anything on 43 HP, this is going to be a very successful mid for Velocity. Pushing in on second already. Here comes Laz now in on second. Does get some damage down onto Kryptonite, but Not able to get the frag, stays alive, and back to his team to compensate. Zilly got pretty low in that, but again, lives.
Yeah, actually a very cute single rocket there from Laz at the end. Kind of halted the entire push. I mean, did enough damage that Crypt had no thoughts whether he was bombing or not. He was definitely going to retreat out of there after that. So Laz actually small play, but a key one. And now both teams are at 100% Ubers, so we're back to this classic stalemate situation here. Swift, no more room for mistakes. Bell, they're going to try to exploit that as right now, actually, players coming in from Swift right onto Bear, that's Laz. He doesn't hit the shots though, so kind of a strange play. Shamu down and Pete in as well, so Scouts down for Velocity, and that's a huge opportunity for Swift to push, and yeah, Uber's going to be traded.
Yeah, nothing happening so far in the Supercharge aside from the initial picks that went up from that push. But Velocity are going to have to get a lot more passive because of this. They don't want to get caught with their pants down. Big shot coming out of the aim into the air. Doesn't get taken down or anything, but has to back off because of that. Velocity conceding this middle point because of it. Their scouts both staying on scout as they spawn back up. But they're going to be able to sit here on second. They have all the players alive. Nobody went for any risky plays and after that fight happens. So Swift, they've gained themselves a point. They've worked their way forward once again. And now they're in the aggressive seed. And that's what they really need because obviously they're only down by one, but they've been down by one quite a lot in this game. It seems like while they're always able to tie it up, they haven't been in the lead ever. I can't remember. No, they won that first round, but since then they have not gotten the lead. And of course, if you want to be the first to 5, you have to be in the lead at some point.
Yeah, weird last fight there as the Velocity Scouts get dislocated from the team. They're just caught out on 2, and both of them go down. And Laz sacking into mid, which is... It's always weird to see a roamer sacking mid. Speaking of Laz sacking, here he comes onto 2. Not going to hit any of the rockets. He tries to launch one into the head of Kryptonite and his little ball cap there, but none of them hit, so he's going to go down, and Velocity maybe gearing up for the push here. You see Pete, he's trying to open something up on the flank, just find the space that he can exploit, but doesn't find any of it. And Velocity, they're just going to go back to holding. I mean, at this point, they can play the, 7 TF2 and just play out the clock. Swift actually no off classes, so maybe expecting the push there from Velocity, I'd assume. And yeah, at this point, I'd imagine Laz is just going to be sending himself in again, seeing if he can get those rockets onto Bear.
Yeah, it's true. Velocity are kind of in a unique spot because they only need 1 more point to win, but they also only need to stall the game out for another 5.5 minutes. So they got a couple different victory options here. Swift kind of playing against the clock. They need to get at least 1 more in that time to force to a golden cap or get 2 to end the game outright. Laz with a big bomb now, trying to go for anything he can, but not finding the rockets it needs to. Pete ends up taking him down. So that was the same kind of sacking we saw last time. We'll see if there's any response from Velocity. They're going to get bot mode in immediately onto Bear. That chair going down as well. Oh my goodness. Bot mode does a great scout play there, and that's going to completely open things up for Swift. Now they have 100% Uber charge. They need to walk in. They get the frag of Kryptonite as well, who's going for that force, but couldn't even get that. Showstopper now in on Zilly, thrown way up in the air. Zilly not going to pop, or is going to pop, sorry, not going to risk that air shot. As they clean up so many players. They're going to get the second point for sure. They're looking into last as well. They're going to try to run forward and try to cap this one off. They got to watch out for the Velocity respawners. They come up in 3 seconds, and that second point is being capped very slowly, but if they can get this in time, here come all the Velocity respawners. They need to stay on this point. They need to get it capped off as soon as possible. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Now they have to back off, but Zilly's in a really bad spot and very low on HP. He's got some players in front of him, but Kryptonite's going for this bomb to try to make it so that he doesn't get out. Not going to happen, though, as Kryptonite gets taken down, and high 5 as well ends up trading for that one. So almost got in that last point, but it wasn't as disastrous as I thought it would be for Swift.
I mean, that was a stunning play from bot mode. I don't know how he got in there. He just hit 4 full damage meat shots, just drops the med, drops the demo. I mean, the med, like, come on, man, that's enough. Go easy on him, and then he just destroys the demo with 2 meat shots. So, I mean, that was just an incredible play from bot mode, and I mean, that just sent a jolt into the whole team of Swift. All of a sudden, they were just on last spawn camping. It didn't pay off. I mean, I really thought it would for a second there, but it looks like the Uber's actually just going to come out. They need to trade this, but that's not going to work out well. He's in the skybox. He's going to crater it. Zilly's just going to try to run out of there. Uber forced from Velocity, though. They're chasing in the lobby, and at this point, they have a couple choices here of what they want to do, but actually, now that they get the pick on Laz, it's definitely going to be pushed. So here they come, and actually with the sniper on high 5, this should be relatively easy for Velocity to just spam him out of there. Pete looks like he wants to make something happen, but no, he's going to back off as well. So Velocity, they're going to get the point, play it cool. They're just going to post up here. They know that high 5 is on the sniper, and Ubers are even. So at this point, Velocity, they're just going to be maybe just trying to catch up high five or something. And actually, you can see Swift are so far back on mid right now. I mean, they're very, very cautious at this point. They just do not want to give an inch away.
I don't really love that play by Swift, just going back a little bit when they just popped into last. I mean, obviously it worked really clearly for them. The execution wasn't there at all, but even the concept, I mean, there's like 4 minutes left on the clock. It's even Uber charges, you're ready to push last. You can kind of play around. I mean, Velocity are, you know, they're up one already. They don't want to give anything up, but either way, last bombing in now. Got one rocket onto Bear, but not enough to get the frag. So Swift pushing into the last back there again. Maybe not the greatest position. They could have went for something a little more safe, sacks or something, because now they're sitting on mid. They still are in, you know, the advantageous position. They have 3 points, 3 control points compared to only 2 from Velocity. So, you know, it's all right for them, but they still would have liked to have that 4th one and be in a position where they're pushing last. Now there's only 2 minutes left on the clock, so they're gonna have to go. Velocity probably more leaning towards that time-constrained victory condition as they're running forward. I think they want to take the exchange on high five. Yes, they do. Trying to get some frags. They might get Shamu in this, but he finally does get flashed by Bear. The cleanup's not there, and Zilly's supercharge is going to be fading. There's a couple of rockets having to back off on a saw. Still some players without medics fighting over on his right-hand side. Big rocket from Laz does take down Pete, so that's the first frag going down in this post-Uber fight. Aim with the big bomb, going to be trying to get some damage down onto Showstopper. Hits the air shot, but gets punished for it anyways. Does get taken down by the pipe to Jared, but that is going to be enough with 1.5 minutes left on the clock. Swift are going to cap off the 2nd point.
Yeah, this is go time. They have to go right now before Uber's come back into play and there's a stalemate. Soldiers down for Velocity means no spam. They're going to have to try to get some cap time here before the respawns. Pete's on the heavy. Last on point, he goes down. Shamu's so weak. They need to get a pick here, but they're not finding one anywhere. And the heavy on the point is going to spell an end to that push. Yike caught out on the stairs, goes down. And this is going to be very, very tough for Swift to pull off now. They've had 2 good opportunities to take this last with no Ubers involved. Both of them squandered, unfortunately, and now they're in a position where they're going to need to somehow get the force, kill heavy snipers, NGs maybe, pyro spies. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, but it's a tall order for Swift, is all I can say.
It's all going to come down to these last 40 seconds as they pop the recharge off and high five thrown into the air. Jumping around, he's just going to get taken down by Showstopper. So immediately in this fight, it's going bad for Swift. Zilly getting juggled and taken down by Shamu. They want to get on this last point. They lose Laz as well. Now Aim trying to do his best, bombing into all the players that he can, get some time on point, but just taken down. He got Kryptonite, and Yike gets Pete, but Yike's not going to be able to do that. And with all the players dying and only 15 seconds on the clock, Velocity have taken down their biggest rivals in North America. Swift NA have lost this match, and the final score is going to be 4-3.
Just an excellent game there from Velocity. I mean, Swift had 2 prime opportunities there at the end to tie it up, and unfortunately they just couldn't capitalize. And because of that, close win for Velocity. And I mean, just well played there at the end. I mean, they had some really tough situations, and they somehow found a way to just squirm out of them. I mean, like on that one play where bot mode dropped the med, you know, Swift just had a vice grip on last, blocking off the spawns, and I mean, somehow the Velocity players wiggled their way out of taking tons of damage. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but they did it nonetheless. So well played to Velocity, a well-deserved win. And I have to say, at the end of the day, one of the main things this all came down to was the mid fights. The Velocity mids were plentiful and scarce on the side of Swift. So due to that, they just had such an advantage in most of the rounds, and in most of the rounds, they capitalized.
Yep, very good game by Velocity. We're going to look at the stats now real quick. 49 big ones for Shamu. Great job by him. I didn't even really notice him picking it up in the second half all that much, but certainly Pete cooled down a little bit, only hitting that 205 DPM, lowest on his team. 34 frags is still respectable, though. And with 244, Shamu is going to claim the title of top fragger and top damage of the server. Deaths for the medics have both increased, but still bear a little bit more than Zilly. Of course, didn't hurt his team too much, 15 to 12, not the biggest difference. But especially with that win, you're not going to look too harshly on their stats. Showstopper picked it up a little bit too in terms of the numbers. I mean, I thought he was playing fine in the first half, but evened out with his soldier pair now in Kryptonite. Both 23 frags and about 209 damage for both of them. So good job on the side of Velocity, and then over on Swift as well. 40 frags from High Five, top frag in his team, as well as top damaging, 229. High Five really brought it out. I mean, bot mode maybe had the flashier players or plays, but High Five I thought was the more consistent of the two.
Yeah, definitely a great game from High Five there, and I mean an even greater game from Shamu. I feel like Shamu's kind of been a player who's been sort of towing the line of being a good scout versus a great scout. And this is one of those performances that put him in the great scout category. So well played to him. He really came through throughout the game, had some really great Ubers, just consistent fragging. So very well played to him. Well played to Showstopper as well. I mean, he was a key factor on those mids. Kryptonite as well. Not as much going on for him, and you know the stats are going to look bad in a stalemate game like that for a roamer. So just well played all around, really, to Velocity. I think all their players shined in certain situations. Jared had great moments of putting out huge damage, and it just worked. They made it happen. So congratulations to them on a close, important victory.
And I think that probably about does it for us on Team Fortress TV. So thank you guys for tuning in to one of the weirdest matches I've seen in a long time, at least. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a very close one between two of the top teams in North America. Going to be very important going forward into playoffs and throughout the rest of the season. But my name has been Cornpop. I've, of course, been casting with Mela, and the lovely Azazel has been our cameraman bringing the stream to you guys. So be sure to check out other events going on Team Fortress TV. We got some ETF 12 matches happening in 2 days and 27 days, apparently, according to the site that I'm looking at right now. This weekend as well, there is that Essentials.tf monthly tournament, so be sure to check that out as well on over Essentials.tf. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.